Luther King Jr. weekend, a time to reflect on the life and legacy of the civil rights leader and to look at what more needs to be done to bring the nation together. Joining us this morning from the Freedom Center is Dr. Clarence Newsome. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Glad to be with you on this very beautiful Cincinnati day.
We have all these connections, including North Carolina. Both spent some time there. You're a Duke guy, as are my parents.
That's
it's good to see you again.
Right. You know, go Duke today.
Yeah,
okay,
and my first interview, my first live interview ever on television was in North Carolina with Martin Luther King III.
My stars.
So I had some butterflies in my stomach.
Very good. Yeah,
but he was a real gentleman and really nice.
A wonderful guy.
And talk about the events that are going to be going on here.
Well, today even, we've got a panel discussion getting ready to start at 3 o'clock talking about Cincinnati's very progressive approach to dealing with race riots and the like, and how Cincinnati has become a paradigm and a model for other cities. That's a part of our MLK Jr. celebration. And then Monday, we have our traditional MLK breakfast, and yours truly has been tapped as the speaker. So I'll tell people to come out. I've been told I only have 5 minutes. You know I'm going to take more than that. But anyhow, that should be encouragement to come and join us for this wonderful event.
Sure. Do you hear much from the folks in Ferguson? Have you been contacted at all from those folks who are trying to figure a way out of their situation?
Well, I have had some conversation with some of the ministers, sort of in the way of a telephone backroom kind of conversation. Point of fact, we had a couple of people here with us earlier this season for one of our programs, and I had a chance to talk then. But Reverend Damon Lynch III has been a key player representing Cincinnati's very, very model approach. And he has been there in Ferguson. He's been serving as a consultant. I'll probably get an update today when I see him, because he's one of our panelists, and he's the kind of person that other communities should be calling upon. And I'm glad that the Freedom Center, you know, is connected to people like that to help us with our programming.
And talk to me about the things that are happening in your perspective towards race relations in America right now. Obviously, we're at a very flashpoint style time. I think I hear a lot of people saying we've come a long way, we have a long way to go. What's your take on the situation?
Well, we do have a long way to go, but we've also come a long ways, and I think it's sort of represented in the fact that we've got a lot of conversations going on around the nation. We can't have enough of these conversations. Even when people don't feel like talking and dialoguing, they need to talk, we need to dialogue. Now, what we are challenged to do is to have very effective conversations, the kind of conversations that bring about social change and sustainable social change. At the Freedom Center, we're working on ways in which we can bring people together so that they can have these very, very effective conversations, result-oriented conversations, things that represent best practices and things that people can apply wherever they are.
It can be difficult to do without emotion undercutting the situation.
Well, one of the things you have to do is to set the stage. You have to sort of help people understand where emotion serves a purpose and where it doesn't. In other words, you have to help people understand what the benefits and limitations of emotional intelligence are, and how we can reason together, but not necessarily all the time with the brain. You can reason with the heart, and this is very much what Martin Luther King Jr. was about. I would tell people, go see Selma. I saw it last night.
You didn't think they shortchanged LBJ?
Well, you know, it was all in good drama and artistry. Sure. I mean, you had to have that kind of figure to work against to get the point over, and we understand that, so some license there. But nonetheless, what you picked up from it was a man, Martin King Jr., very much committed to things of the heart in the interest of bringing about social change. You cannot bring about social change through laws alone. You've got to change hearts. When people come together to talk, they've got to come with both an open mind and an open heart. And this is one of the things, too, that we're also teaching and demonstrating at the Freedom Center.
Okay, so a lot more conversation to come. Today there will be a free